Hi, thank you, and welcome to my channel. This message is just a general message in understanding the importance of psychic protection for empaths. Now, if you are an empath, that means you are sensitive to external energies and you are able to be receptive to outside entities. And it's also a matter of you actually, when you're encountering people, environments, you absorb all these energies within you. And sometimes you are unaware, especially if you're wide open, very hypersensitive empath, such as myself. You could actually, you put yourself out there when you're in environments with other people and everybody's emitting frequencies, and you become very susceptible to just really being responsive to everything. You can sense everything about everyone around you, and then it permeates your own being and it becomes your energy. It intertwines with you. So as an empath, it's always important to just try to protect your energy and create a barrier between you and the world around you. And I say this as, just a kind of encouragement for empaths who find it very difficult for them to be out in public, or when you're just interacting with others and people project their energy onto you, whether they know it or they don't know it, you actually absorb that. And the best way that you could actually do that, I know a lot of people who are very hypersensitive, and they create personas for themselves to actually, and this is what celebrities actually do too. And this is the reason why when people are very, when you are actually a celebrity where all of your energy is being projected to a lot of people actually start to feed off of that energy. And if you are fully connected to whatever projection you give to people, then they can literally drain your life force energy. And this is why a lot of celebrities who aren't understanding of the necessity of keeping an image for the public and a private image for themselves and for their those who are closest to them. When you allow yourself to be fully exposed and your image is fully projected, and you are sensitive to these things, such as when a celebrity, such as you have certain celebrities that are actually they go into ruin, or they actually become addicted to drugs and then they fall off, and then things like that happen because of the fact that there's so much of their life force energy being drained by the public. And it's very important for you to understand that when you become whatever you are, empath, and as an empath, and you open yourself up to these energies and you juggle and you balance all of that, it becomes increasingly difficult for you to maintain an image that is the direct image of who you are as an individual in the public eye. So you have to really literally create a persona, a character. And this is also the concept of like the superheroes. They put on costumes and they go out with their superhero costumes, and then when they're not fighting crime, they go back to being whoever they are, and then people don't recognize them when they are who they are. There's a reason for that. It's because of the fact that you need to have, as an empath, you need to have a barrier of protection that energetically separates your image as you truly are from everybody else who can actually, especially if you're a popular person too, they have a direct access to you if you have a copy of that person's image. And we are in a day and age where photos are definitely something where it's common. Everybody, you're out in public, and if people see you, they're taking pictures of you even without your permission. And these things attach to your frequency directly. And if people are looking at your picture and then they're studying it, and if you're hypersensitive to that, you can feel when people's eyes are watching when they're not there. And so you have to be mindful of how you shield your energy. And you can have things such as totems, where if you wear a certain thing, you create like an energetic barrier, and it's something that if your intention is, this is my totem, this is how I'm going to project my image to the public, and that way when I'm out, I don't feel as much of the interaction of their energy to me and their projections onto me. This is also another reason why I know a couple of empaths who when they go out in public, they don't necessarily like to wear makeup, but they wear it because it creates a projection of an image for the public, so that, or sometimes they just don't. But then, then you have other people who might wear wigs, and they go out and then they have an image that they project so that they could create a barrier for themselves. And then they may come back and take it off for the intimacy that they have with everyone else that they trust and that they can share their vibration with, the fullness of their vibration. So there's various levels to this. And when you think about it as well, when back in ancient times, in ancient Egyptian culture, you had the walls that were projected of certain aspects. They used to use the same imageries and the same tactics that in propaganda. It's all propaganda, where they basically showed images of wars and conquering people that they didn't really conquer, because it was a projection to project fear on those who came, to say, well, you know what, if you do this, this is going to happen to you. So it's a matter of creating an illusion. Sometimes as an empath, it's definitely necessary for you to not necessarily give every bit of you to everybody, because if you do that and you open yourself up and you're already an open channel, you can be very susceptible to rogue energies that comes your way, and it will actually, penetrate you to the point where you will have a very hard time balancing your energies. So you have to do what you must in order to create an energetic barrier between you and those whom observe you. And it just depends on how sensitive you are as an empath. You can determine that for yourself, but you have to understand that everything around you is affecting you, especially when you open yourself up to things like being a medium or being clairvoyant, opening your pineal gland. You are really interacting with various levels of energy that can really bring destruction to your mind if you're not fully grounded. And when you're out and about, everybody is constantly projecting thoughts, and energy is always flaring up. And if you're not grounded within yourself enough to really keep that barrier and that ring of protection around you, you become energetically bound to others, and their energies will literally intertwine with yours. And it will be very difficult for you to find your balance if you allow everything to permeate you without you being able to transmute it out fast enough. And this is why a lot of people who are empaths are very introverted in nature, or they can be very mysterious, where you don't really know fully every bit of everything about them, because and this is also why celebrities keep up a persona too, because when you get to a high level of balancing alchemy, and usually people who are in the celebrity spotlight, they are balancing high level energies of alchemy, because they have to transmute all the energy of all the eyes that are watching them, and all those eyes are projecting images of them to them, and they have to create a barrier of some type of image so that the energy that people are feeding off of is not directly connected to the energy that they're vibrating in when they're alone, or when they're with their family, or when they're in the privacy of their own little environment where they're not necessarily in the public eye, So, I mean, it is the same tactics that has been used throughout history, and it's what is necessary for anybody who's practicing alchemy and who's practicing balancing energies and being open to these frequencies where you're cognizant of them. You have to create a protection for yourself. Otherwise, you could literally go crazy. And it's been shown time and time again when you have things like child actors. These children, they're very exposed. And, a lot of the times the child actors, their energy is drained. And then you see them later on in life and then they're kind of destitute. It's a pattern. And the reason being is just because of the fact that when you have an overexposure of your energy as you are, and you have no barriers of protection around you, your life force energy gets drained. So you must protect your energy. It is very important for you to do so. And however you choose to do that, that is up to you. But every superhero has a costume. They don't go out. And that's the nature of how it works, really and truly. When you vibrate at the highest level of alchemy that you can output, you become a vibrational being where everybody is attracted to you like moths to a flame. And when you go out, you can barely get any type of peace. And so because of that, you have to really literally be something outside of who you truly are fully, but give them something so that you're not shining at the highest essence of you when you're out and about, in order to remain and have some semblance of peace within some sacredness for yourself. This is also the concept of ancient mysticism, as well as the ancient Egyptians did wear wigs. And these wigs were made of human hair, their own hair that they grew and shaved off to create these bounded headdresses. And these things were used as a spiritual protection for them to be able to kind of shield their crown chakras. If you bind it, it actually acts as a shield of protection. These were just the ways of the ancients. And also we have, just different concepts of how you can actually make, just the same way, like I said, celebrities, they tap into the realm of mysticism when they actually gain all this popularity, because they're attracting it to themselves. They're using the elements of natural law to really, really guide their way to their success. And people talk about the Illuminati and everything. A lot of that is a smoke screen to keep people from wanting to get to the highest levels of their own alchemy, to be honest with you. It's not a real thing. But everybody buys into the illusions of everything because of fear. People have fear, and when people have their own fears, they project their fears on other people so that people can feel restricted. And to be honest with you, everything in this reality is not real. So because of that, there are things that we consider harmful. There are things that we consider beneficial. But in actuality, none of it is real anyway. So it doesn't really matter, because everything is transmutable. Everything is. And until everything becomes whatever it is that you mentally attach your intentions to. And that's why people can live years and years and years and years and years with a tumor in their system, and then go to the doctor, and the doctor says, you have 4 months to live, and then all of a sudden they die of cancer, because they've lived with it for all this time without even knowing how detrimental it was to them. But the minute someone told them and gave them the fear that they were going to die, then they end up dying. And it isn't really, usually it's not the cancer that kills them. It's usually the fear of death. And then you start to make peace with that death, and then your body starts to shut down, and then you start to not absorb the nutrients of everything that you eat, and then you die. And then now you have people who are preaching, oh, be this, don't eat meat, don't eat that, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that. Everybody's telling you how to live righteously, when the righteous living comes from within. Whatever is right for you is right for you, but it should be where people allow people to just live their lives, create abundantly, have and do and be whatever it is that their soul is calling forth for them without judgments. But we are constantly being a group of individuals where we always try to project everything on each other, and instead of allowing and just vibrating in our own essence, we tend to just project that to other people, because it's just a deflection of our own insecurities that comes up when we judge other people. So we have to be very mindful of how we choose to live our lives, and those energies that we project to other people, especially to those who are sensitive to receiving it, because it affects them a whole lot more than it affects someone who's desensitized to it. But we're all vibrational beings, and we're all here to create our own experiences. But it's important for you to make sure that if you are empath, where you are open and susceptible to these energies, that you protect your energy so much so that you allow yourself to be secure in who you are, regardless of whoever is projecting their thoughts onto you, and you allow yourself to remain grounded, and then you continue to just persevere forth and shine your light. However you choose to shine your light, that is your choice. Do not allow anyone to direct your path outside of you and your soul's inner knowing. And that is what is determined in how to be righteous. Don't let anyone else determine that for you. Your soul knows, and you activating yourself, being who you truly are with yourself, because that's the most important thing. Everybody doesn't need to know everything. And a lot of times people feel as though being authentic to you means that everybody has to know everything about you. And that's not necessarily the case. You need to know everything about you for you. And then you project what you want to project for other people to know. And let that be enough for them, because they don't need to know everything. Only you do. And as long as you're secure in who you are, you can create that barrier of protection around you for anybody and anything that tries to come and permeate your consciousness with something outside of what you know is right for you. So I give you nothing but motivation and encouragement. I do not want anyone to follow anything or try to be like me. I just want you to be who you are and be proud of that. That is what I'm here to do. It's just to help you see you. And if you can do that, then I've done my job. So that's all that I have for you at this time. Take care of yourself. Please do. Take care of your soul. Nurture you. Love you. No matter what anyone else says, and no matter how anybody tells you how to do you, the only person that knows how to do you is you. So don't let outside perceptions or the collective mind frame of everybody else's thinking, this is how you should be if you are that. If you're conscious, you should be like this. No, you determine your way. You are uniquely made, and you can choose to do it however you want to do it, because this world is not real anyways. Nothing in it is real. Everything can be transmuted. Whatever you eat, if you want to eat it, eat it. Be happy, be joyful. If you want to wear something, wear it. Be joyful, be happy. Don't let anybody put guilt on you. Don't let anybody shame you for anything that you choose to do, be, or have, okay? That's all that I have for you today. Take care. Until next time, namaste.